Yes, bad bitch, witch, bad bitch, Joan Jack.
Ugh, you are a snob and a half.
Like a boss, like a hot boss.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Fierce Chat. My name is Sasha, and if you're not already subscribed, let's not do this. Let's not do it. Go ahead and take some time to like, guys, comment. It is a free way to support my channel and let your auntie, your friend, your grandmother, okay, maybe not your grandmother, but you know what I'm saying. Let them know. I am doing my best to produce quality content for y'all, and I am constantly learning from even looking at my stuff over and over again to see where I can, critique and make stuff better for you. For you. And let me tell you, it is not cheap. But I have a vision and I've got a passion. And so we're just gonna rock this thing out. Feel me? Okay. You'll notice what? I don't really know what's going on in my life today, guys. I'm really not sure. And maybe we like this. You know what I mean? It's October. I feel like this episode will come out in October still. Yeah, I think so. Okay. It don't matter. It's fall time, right? So we're like warming up and we're like watching movies and stuff. Have y'all started watching movies yet for the fall season? Comment below your favorite fall movie, your favorite holiday movie, your favorite Christmas movie, because you know your girl's ready to watch Santa. Oh my God. It's like, and if you don't know what that is, then there's some other things that you really need to work on. So there's that. But we're going to go ahead and break for a commercial real quick, and then we will be right back. Okay? Don't miss me. I miss you already. All right, y'all, be sure to tell me whether or not you like this episode. I really hope that the voicing and whatever, I really hope that part is good. I think that I can even hold it like down here so that it's not crazy like all in my face. Yeah. Okay. So I really hope that the mic is good because y'all, I got my little mic that I've been using for TikTok and for my voiceovers and stuff. And it's a really great mic. I know y'all seen it on TikTok, honey, and TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop. And by the way, what y'all think about TikTok Shop? Honestly, to me, it's giving flea market. And I'm not even saying the products are not good. It's just giving flea market. It's very aggressive. Like, I feel like, the shadow work journal. I know you know what I'm talking about. Like, I know you've seen that. Okay. And then what else is it? The brush for 4C hair. Now I'm a Black woman. So, I know the algorithm is giving me some things that I need. But my people, y'all see that, right? Like, I'm just not into it. I'm really not. I don't know. I'm a afterthought salesperson. Basically, act like you don't need me. You don't want me to buy something. And then I'll buy it. But when you act like it, I'm not into it. And I don't mean don't do marketing, but I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole. Anyways, y'all know I'm always literally going off on a tangent and going to a whole bunch of different topics. But the reason that I brought up fall movies was because I feel like my lighting today looks like a little dark, like we're telling like a story or whatever. But that's great because this comes out on a Thursday. It comes out at 7:30. It's at night, girl. So we having a conversation. So anyways, sit back, relax, go and grab some wine because I know you had a long week. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because you said, you know what? It's okay. I'm not that tired. I can push myself to do this. It's okay. Don't worry about it, babe. I got it. It's okay. She ain't got to do the project. I know how to do it. It's okay. Don't call back. I'll call you again. You did all those things, babe. And now you need a little drinky drink. Okay? a little drink. Okay? You need a drink. So go ahead and pull up. Let's relax and let's chat. So anyways, this weekend, honestly, I was really able to just like reflect and chill because like I was about to say, last week was really, really crazy for me. I just think that, I really didn't even really realize that I had established like 3 individual brands. I've got my own individual content as She's Your Fierce, by the way. Follow me as She's Your Fierce on Instagram and TikTok. But I've got She's Your Fierce content. I've got my Fierce Chats podcast that now has its own profile. And then I've also got my digital creator agency, the SC agency. And the SC agency is what you guys are seeing for commercials and things like that. I'm helping micro influencers, small content creators that people are overlooking that have got quality content, reach their goals, which is a brand deal. Money, coins. So anyways, all those different things, and that's just my business. That's not even me, that's not even, I'm a wife, I'm cha-cha. That's what my bonus baby calls me. I'm a mother. I did the wife thing, I did the mother thing. Hey girl, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And in addition to that, I am sitting over here trying to figure out stuff about Saj. And every day I'd be really, really confused. Like I said in our last conversation, first of all, girl, it is so important to be grounded. And it's so important to have a good foundation in your faith. And I cannot express that enough. We need to got a deep dive into it, Pooh. I'm just telling you that the world is a crazy place. And if you've got no foundation to really build off of whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, whatever you want for your family, ma'am, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. And I'm not saying that you can't do it another way. I just felt like I really needed this weekend. I felt like I really needed it. Life be lifing. And I don't know what's going on. I think that the last half of the year for me is always super, super busy. And it's probably super busy for a lot of people because, it's the holidays, and the holidays either, everybody isn't super happy around the holidays as well. It's a hard time. And even for other times in the year too. So, but anyways, October is a super busy month for me. I've got so many birthdays, my husband's birthday, all my really close friends' birthdays are in October. So it's just kind of it's just really kind of crazy for me. So right now I am just trying to grasp for a little bit of the air, honestly. I think, we talked about this last season, my anxiety. Actually, let me give an update in regards to my anxiety. So still have anxiety, has not gone anywhere. Even, and that's the thing. I feel like sometimes when people are talking to me, we're talking about faith and we're talking about building things off of faith. It means that you're never scared. You're never worried. You never go into things, second guessing stuff. And that's just really not the case. It's just more times than none, you'll have somewhere to lean. I feel like now for my anxiety, I'm channeling it better. My anxiety really comes from my need of control and my need to try and make sure everything is okay at all times and everything looks perfect at all times. And that's just crazy to say. And, it's crazy to say out loud, but that's truly how I feel. I feel like when I approach things, why can't I do it perfectly? And why don't you think it's perfect? You know what I mean? And it really stresses me out. And sometimes it's an advantage because, I'm very big on presentation, hence marketing. So I'm very big on presentation. So sometimes it's an advantage and other times it's a disadvantage because, I think I've said before, it doesn't allow me to be present. So I would say right now that I have just accepted the waves of my emotions and my stress and all those different things kind of just going up and down. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit codependent on it sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, am I having a good day? Where the hell is my anxiety at? Okay, where the hell is I can't breathe. I need to sit down. Help me. You know what I mean? Where did that go? So I'm really just trying to make sure that I'm also filtering my mind with other things. And I mean, a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, girl. Because I watch a lot of bullshit TV. Okay, I watch a lot of BS on TV. I prefer to watch that on TV because I'm not really looking to look at TV and be like, what can I learn from this? Not really. I'm trying to figure out if I can laugh and, what cool new trendy sayings can I tell y'all about? You know what I mean? I want y'all to know how cool I am and how up on game I am. Why would I be watching a documentary, baby? But I'm also super big on true crime. And hear me out. Because I know I just covered a story of true crime, and I know that we've got some other episodes with true crime in it. But girl, I was watching true crime, like get up in the morning, trying to start on some work or whatever, and turn on true crime. Driving down the road, listen to a podcast. It was true crime. Now, there is no issue with true crime, but I do think that for me personally, in my own personal journey, that it would make me extremely jittery, because now I'm like, oh, so is this man in the white van going to get out with a rope and try it around my neck like that girl I saw? Like, girl, you know what I mean? And it was really like, I feel like it was really like fucking with me, like really fucking with me. And I think that I think that there's a balance to stuff, right? Like you just have to balance what you allow your mind to absorb, listen, and feel. And I literally just put this post, we just put this post up on the SC agency page where for mental health. And probably earlier in this month, we put it on there. So go and check it out. 3 steps for decompressing for social media. And one of those was curate your feed. And basically what curating your feed means is to mute, get off, unfollow. Like when you're finding yourself comparing yourself to another person or comparing yourself to somebody that you feel like you should be like rooting for, then you might need to take a step back. And I'm not saying you need to unfollow. I'm not saying that muting is the ultimate and only decision. No, it's not. But it definitely is just so important to know that you can mute things past just social media so that you can clear your mind and get yourself focused and in a place to hear what it is that you actually need to be doing and putting your energy in places that you actually need to be. Because I feel like what leads to my anxiety is me doing too much of one thing that nobody even asked me to do. And don't get me wrong, like obviously, you self-initiate. You can do stuff without somebody asking you to do something, but you also need to take it to account, girl. We only have so much energy allocated per day. And if you're going to spend most of that energy allocating it to other people or allocating into, let's just stay there, allocating it to other people who are not pouring back into you or who are not receptive or who, and it doesn't mean that they have to pour back into you. And it doesn't mean that they need to do anything. It probably, you know what I'm saying? It just means that be mindful of where your energy ends up landing so that you can reserve that for yourself, so that you can be kind of a little more aware of, again, whether or not you're in spaces that you even really need to be. And that will help you figure out, like what's going on with the whole anxiety. Is it true crime? Is it that friend? Is it, what is it? What is it? But you'll never really know if you're not really, taking that time to really clear your mind and be focused, girl. So I didn't mean to go on a tangent, a rabbit hole. But there's that. Okay, so anyways, let's get into the mess. All right, so I was actually going to play the clip, but I'm just going to pop it up right here on the right for y'all so you can just see, and I'm just going to recap for you. And get your wine. Get that wine. Okay, anyways. So basically, long story short, girl, I was on TikTok, and this girl basically put some overlay text on a video and it said, going to a date that my boyfriend didn't invite me on with his girlfriend. Huh? So, we clicking. We clicking right into it. I click right into it, and that was end of the video. So, of course, I checked the comments. I look at the comments, and somebody said, girl, tag us in part 2. We got to know what's going on. And a lot of comments are like, yes, we are rooting for you, girl. Go and see what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm liking them comments, too. What's going on, girl? Because your boyfriend going on a date with his girlfriend. Huh?
What?
So long story short, part 2, she says, it's not going to go how y'all think it's going to go. And I'm like, okay, baby, what's going on? She's like, basically, and I'm acting like she's talking to me, but basically she goes, I got beat up. Long story short, the young man is her ex. It actually was not her boyfriend. And she, I guess, ends up going into the restaurant. She gets into a fight with the girl, and then the girl whoop her ass. You got knocked the fuck out. I'm like, and at the end of the video, she's still like, I love him and I'm gonna stick beside him because he loved me. I'm like, Toxic Tammy, you really have look, to each his own. You know what I mean? To each his own. But listen up, Fierce Chats crew. By the way, do we like Fierce Chats crew? Or like the fierce friends? Fierce friends. Fierce friends? Fierce girls? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm actually not good at it. So for all of the 5 people that are listening to my podcast, could you put a comment and let me know? Okay. I want to have a little crew. Okay. I want to have a little group. All right. And it could be all 5 of us. I don't care. But anyways, so we're going to leave off. She's like, yeah, she whipped my ass, this and this and that. I love him. I'm going to stick beside him. Blah, 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 blah. He loves me. I was just like, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in sis. I'm like, girl. And y'all gonna say, bitch, you're married. So you don't get it. And you don't know. So da 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 da. First of all, let's be clear. And I'm going to take it back and then I'm going to bring it up. Y'all know how I do. Okay. So stay with me. All right. During dating, before I met my husband, it was a whole bunch of BS. And let me not even sit here and act like it was a whole bunch of BS. Okay. Like obviously, you know, whoever it was that I chose to give my time to obviously was worth it at the time. No longer qualified today, no longer qualified at all, but was worth it at the time, right? And there was different experiences and stuff that came from those relationships. I'm just going to say the most recent one, I really just like, I feel like I got into my bag. And by the most recent one, I mean my most recent ex before I got married, obviously before I met my husband. And like, I feel like after that relationship, I really got in my bag. So y'all really need to go to the episode 4. Yes, episode 4. Go to episode 4 with us and listen to that story. Basically, with this ex, I'll just take y'all through it, all 5 of y'all. But basically with that ex, what ended up happening was, you know, we meet, we're out. He says he has a job. He says he's flying out to North Carolina. He says that he is, you know, like living in a house and he's got this and he's got that. And at the time, like it was obviously a long time ago. So girl, when I heard he had a house, he had a car, I was like, a home? You mean not an apartment here? No apartment here. And there's no problem with an apartment as long as it has a doorman. But I was like, okay, you know, this is great. And so basically, long story short, it was a bunch of hoopla. It was a bunch of hoots. And you know, it was a lot of that was going on. But like at the time, I really, you know, couldn't see it. I really did like stand beside him. I really did feel like this was the moon and the stars and that, you know, we just had to go through this stuff and we would get through it together. And then when I met my husband, I realized like, babe, it ain't even like that. In my relationship now, do I go through stuff? Absolutely. Is it wild and bangy? Absolutely. But it's wild, you know, everybody has their degree of what they feel like wild and bangy is. And then there's just like foundational stuff that you should just like never do. And tracking down your ex at a dinner while he's with another young lady who whooped your ass? You don't need me to tell you that didn't make no sense. And I'm just like, I don't get it. And again, like I said, I went through my fair share of frogs, but I feel like I really feel like I did the work. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it a buck. I feel like I did the work. You have to come to a relationship whole. You have to. You can still be, obviously we're learning ourselves, we're growing, we're changing constantly, but you have to come to a relationship whole. And sis who's following her ex to a dinner with another lady, that's not wholeness. It's just not. It is what it is. I said what I said and I stand on it. That's not wholeness. Something is going on because to know your value and to know your worth, I don't even know her. And I know that's not her value and I know that's not her worth. She started off by saying that was her ex. And I know that men have so many, they have so many opportunities to get it right. Because there are so many beautiful women, especially here in Atlanta. Okay, there are so many beautiful women. So, I mean, I get it. They don't really have to bend. You know what I mean? But girl, that doesn't mean that we're about to bend either. Because when she's sitting over there and doing that, you make it simply difficult for the next girl to come along because you sat there with the nonsense. And honestly, let me take that back. You didn't simply make it more difficult. Actually, you made it easier because she also says in her TikTok that, oh, he loves me. He's here and he's back. He with me. He not with her at the hospital. Man, he with you because it's convenient. He with you because it didn't take no time. He with you because it's entertaining. He's with you because he thinks you're crazy. And not in a good way. In an entertaining way. Because I would say in a certain time in life for me. But who would entertain? Actually, not even at a certain time in life. Let's keep it as that. Who would entertain somebody who's sitting here and pulled up to a whole restaurant to pull you from somebody else? That's some crazy shit. Energy, I'm into it. But he ain't gonna marry you. Man, it ain't gonna happen. And even if he do, girl, it's gonna be sitting here and he gonna be doing the same thing. The reason that you have an ex is because they should stay your ex. Okay? I know that singleism, especially women, as we are getting closer to our 30s. Girl, I'm 31. And I'm sorry, I'm super stuffy. But yeah, I'm 31. Okay. So I did not date in my 30s while I was single, obviously. But I was dating over 25. And I feel like after 25, or I was single over 25. And I feel like after 25, it's like on my 25th birthday, somebody said to me, they were like, Sash, you are a quarter of a century old. I'm like, how the hell do I qualify to be a quarter of 100 years old? How? I'm just living. So anyways, going back. So I understand that as we are, just feeling like our biological clock is ticking and all of those different things, that the pressures feel crazy. But I feel like this is where the grace and space comes. This is why we have this wine here in our hand. And if you don't have it, please get up and go and grab yours. And if you're on the road, please don't do that, okay? Because I don't want to go to jail. But nothing good comes easy. So it really takes time and it really takes patience. And honestly, I was about to be on my Mary Jane. I won't hold you. I'm not going to say I sat here and I was like, before I met my husband, that I was like, oh, my husband's coming. No worries. I'm going to be fine. What I ended up saying was, I'm just going to focus on my career. I'll just focus on my career. I hadn't really gotten to the point to where I was starting to think about, wow, what if I really just end up snuggling up to my career? I hadn't really thought about that. I hadn't really gotten that far. But like I said before, I really was getting in my bag. So I was focused on my career. So I was focused on my education as well. I was right before I even met him, I was getting ready to graduate with my master's. I moved to the city of Atlanta. Girl, I was not playing. I was in my big bag. And then after that, I transferred companies and increased my bag. I just feel like I was really on, the up and up. But I also know that that's not necessarily a formula for anything because there are so many women who have homes, have cars, car note paid, house paid, all these different things. And, Mr. Prince Charming still has not really like come along. And I think those things really come down to like figuring out and making sure that, okay, I know I was talking crazy about the shadow work journal, but that you've done the shadow work. Do we even know what shadow work is? Like, do we even know what that means? But like, my interpretation of shadow work is that it's the work that you can't see. It's the work that you are not aware of. Like when you tell people, oh, that's just me. Like, I just be yelling like that. Okay, so why are you yelling like that? And like, why are you comfortable yelling like that? Like, what has occurred for you to be comfortable doing that? And I'm not saying that is right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying like the shadow work is figuring out why you tick the way you tick and what happened to make you tick that way, so that when you get into a relationship, you can explain that to somebody else, which is why I say that, you really have to come into a relationship with wholeness. And I'm not saying that that I knew all of those things before I got into my relationship. No, but I did know that, if I was going to be with somebody, that, A, B, and C was required. But it really just comes down again to you. It really comes down to you making sure you're not blocking your blessings. Like I feel like this young lady did. I feel like she did that. I be saying young lady all the time. Who do I think I am? Martha Stewart. But I feel like, how does she block her blessings? She blocked her blessings by still being involved with her ex. That man is in your way. You're over there spending your time and energy. Back to that energy thing. You're over there spending your time cutting up a luncheon, a dinner. Why? For what? To get back a person who was already entertaining somebody else who wasn't even yours to begin with? That's a block. That's somebody in the way. Blocking your blessings is you still dealing with your ex. You still picking up those phone calls. And even if you're picking up the phone calls and he didn't, you not let him touch your booty cheeks, so he still got access to you. He still got access, and that's all he needs. That's all he needs to feel like he's Tristan Thompson at Khloe Kardashian's house. Khloe, kick Tristan out the house now. No, for real though. Khloe, kick Tristan out the damn house. Y'all watch the Kardashians? I feel like y'all don't watch them and y'all be talking about y'all hate them for no reason. Like, I want to get where y'all hate them. But we could talk about that another time. Anyways, don't block your blessings. Let go. Let go. And I know I keep saying that, but I feel like it keeps coming to mind. And it keeps coming to mind because, one, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say I know what's going on with them, because I do not. I am only making a conclusion off of this simple little video that she let us watch here on the TikTok that I can save on my phone. And now it's not. But so I'm not trying to judge at all. It honestly, in regards to any of these things, like anytime I talk to y'all about anything, that stuff comes from my own life, from my own stupid mistakes, from my own damn, I wish somebody told me, from my own damn, I wish I would have told someone what I was doing. So then that maybe they could tell me. Maybe they comes, honestly, maybe he come to that as well. Let's have a real community of support and people who really love us and people who we can trust. And it don't have to be a big ass community. Can we have one person? Can we have one outlet? If it's not BetterHelp or on Black Girl Therapy, blackgirltherapy.com, I will put that in the description below. If it is not one of those resources, let's have somebody that we can vent to and get a different perspective from. And I'm not talking about somebody who think like you, boo. I'm not somebody who you like sit on the bench and you be like, yeah, girl, exactly. No, no, I'm talking about the person that'll be like, okay, I love you, but that really, he's actually stupid. And you know what? The thing is that nobody will really be able to help you in this space. It really comes down to you, which is why it's so important to make sure you're whole going into relationships. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not telling you that I sat here and I was perfect. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about certain things that you want to be mindful and aware of, and then certain things that you know are like not worth your time. And I feel so strongly about that. But also I manifested my husband. I'm being very, very straight up. Okay. I manifested my husband. I had a very big conversation with God. I manifested my husband, the job that I entered into before then, and also just life at that time. I gave God three things. At the end of the year, I give God three things. I said, can I have a king to my queen? King to my queen. And all I meant by that was just somebody who was equal, somebody who I could learn me something from. I could teach you something, you could teach me something, so on and so forth. Second thing was my job, and I wanted to obtain a certain salary. And then after that, it was also like peace and wisdom and things like that. And I'm not always saying that anytime you're trying to manifest something, it has to be something that's tangible or it has to be something that's, but like, I just wanted to have a real conversation. Like, God knows who you are. You know what I mean? I just wanted to have a real conversation, and let him know really what it was that I'm really focused on. But then when you be asking God for stuff, you got to meet him halfway. You got to make sure you're aligned. Like, you got to make sure you're doing the work. In the meantime, if you're not talking about stuff, if you're not dealing with things, how in the hell are you going to get into a relationship? I love that you got that house, babe. I love that you pay all the bills, but you're going to scream at that man when he come in there. And that's why he's not there right now. Facts. Let's talk about it. Like, it really comes down to probably stuff that you haven't even really thought about. And I think that singleism is something that you should practice even in a relationship. And of course, there's going to be different ways of doing so. But I feel like my singleism for me is when I really let my husband know, like, I need to just take some time to just like think about what I want to do, because while you're changing, like, everybody doesn't catch up with you. Your partner don't always catch up with you. Your friends don't always catch up with you. So in that time period, like, you need to really make sure that you're like just super grounded with self. But singleism is having the ability, like right now, with no kids, it is just you. You can get up and go to Starbucks and go and grab you a spinach feta wrap and a peach green tea lemonade and come back home and watch your TV. But in your singleism with kids, you go down the steps, turn on the TV, crank it up to volume 5 and hope that the little rascals don't hear you. Singleism looks different. So I also feel like that I heard a really impactful sermon. I heard the best sermon when I was single. And he really, honestly, the example that I just gave was, I think, an example that he used, which was that you can really just get up and go being a single person if you don't have kids. You really can just get up and go. And this is the only time in your life where you're going to be able to do that. Because once you get married and have kids, that's not going to be the case anymore. And so when you start to really like lay out different things and how singleism is also a time for you to cultivate, right? Because like, I feel like and don't get me wrong, I mean, you're married. Again, you're married, so you can't say this, but girl, like I said, I heard the best sermon. Like, I was crying up at night feeling single. Don't get me wrong. I really like my dad for Valentine's Day. He would always get and send his girls. I have a younger sister, and send his girls some Valentine's Day stuff. Literally, some Valentine's Day stuff, like a teddy bear and some chocolate and stuff. And girl, one year I just cried. I was like, my dad is going to be the only man who ever loves me like this. And like, maybe I should just accept it because maybe this is my life. You know what I mean? So I used to cry all the time about being single. So like, I just feel like, again, y'all know I chop around, but I was watching a TikTok. Okay, stay with me. And she was like, you're either going to be a lazy motherfucker and you're going to be fat, or you're going to work out and be mindful of your diet. Both are hard. Pick your heart. So with singleism, it's hard. Being in a relationship is hard. Pick your heart. And I know this is a little different because, if you were able to just kind of pick it, you would. But like, I still say that to say everything that glitters ain't gold. And that's not to say that relationships aren't beautiful. They're 1000% beautiful. I think families are beautiful. And I think that if you find love, and when you do find love, you will find love. And when love finds you, that it is beautiful. However, it is difficult, and everything in life is difficult. So I'm not saying that to discourage, and I'm not saying that to be like, girl, have fun over there. It's okay. Don't worry about having no man, girl. I know them sheets will warm you up at night. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, hold on, okay? Hold on, girl. You never know. You never know. You never know what the setup is. But in the meantime, I really hate that I talk so much shit about the shadow work in the TikTok shop, but do the shadow work, okay? In the meantime, do the shadow work, okay? Do the stuff in the background that you haven't addressed yet, yeah? Because when I got into my relationship, if y'all want to talk about that, let me know if you want to talk about that. Because when I got a relationship with my husband, he was my boyfriend, girl, the level and the different, like, requirements that this man set out, I was like, whoa. Because most of the men's prior to, I'm not going to hold you, Sash has a really good gift of the gab. I know you don't know. But like, Sash has a good gift of the gab. And like, I just mean to say, like, I always can like put myself together very well. So like, or at least I think, and that's all that matters is what I think. So I just say that to say, you know, like, she like to argue, so I send them to law school. Like, I used to always have evidence. I used to always have receipts. I used to, you know, like, I can put myself together very well, like I said. So I will always be able to talk somebody down. And like with my man, girl, he immediately shut that thing down. And I was like, wait, whoa. Hi. But anyways, I feel like I hopped around, and I feel like I always do that. But you know, we can continue to talk about this a little more. But I also got some questions about some social media content. So let's get into some fierce facts. Okay, one. So I had a lot of different questions in regards to consistency. People asking me how I'm so consistent across all of my different platforms. TikTok, Instagram with my 3 profiles, my 3 brands, like I told y'all, my TikTok, and then of course YouTube with you guys, and my podcast on all these different platforms, wherever you're listening to this now. And basically, long story short, I have a team. I have a team. You cannot do anything and want anything to grow without help. And so you would be surprised at people that are around you that you might be able to tap on to help you reach your goals. You might. You never know. And so originally when I did start this, it was just me. But now it is impossible for me to be able to do that on my own. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do not do this by myself. And I'm just very thankful and grateful also for my man. That's why you got to have that king to your queen. Come on, God, with the prayers, who also has so much insight in regards to business, who let me know that I would need the help to really catapult me and really take me to the next level. So that's the answer to the first question. How am I able to be consistent on all my different platforms? I have a team. I have help. I ask for help. And I partner, okay? Because it's the people, it's the crabs at the bottom who be like, nah, I can't repost your stuff, or nah, I can't help you with that, or no, I can't do this and that. People at the top know how to collaborate, okay? Ask Jeff Bezos. Next. I also have some people ask about like social media content. Okay, girl. So in regards to your social media content, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you can stick to a schedule that works for you, a schedule that works for you, but you have to be consistent. Because when you're a micro influencer like myself, you are trying to really break through the market, and you're really trying to, you know, give your followers a sense of you, but you have to add value to that. And that's another component to being consistent. Be consistent and add value. You can post the content just to post content is cute, but posting content with value and intent, that's strategy. That is strategy. All right. And then third is obviously have a content strategy. Have a strategy. Know what it is that you want to post. Plan posts. All right, let's take it back. So let's go back to models and stuff in magazines, right? Models and magazines, like, where do you think they taking them pictures at? Obviously, they are at like a beach or they're at like an exotic location, but like you can find those same things in your local neighborhood, in your local area. It seems like nobody wants to work anymore, Kim K. Anyway, you gotta, like, as a content creator, like taking your pictures and doing those things, have intent, be purposeful behind them, plan some stuff, do your makeup when you're only going to do your makeup and then wipe it off and go and do something else. That is what content creation takes. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. You know, I don't want to sit here and act like I know everything because I do not. Like, I'm just a very, like, such an innovator, and I'm constantly trying to work and constantly trying to improve. And that's all I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do is, if I figure something out, girl, I'm going to come and tell you, and I'm going to throw it to you. Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? So we can do this together. It's enough space for everybody to eat. And I'm so sick of y'all acting like that's not the case. So, you know, I'm a girl's girl. All right. So we're coming over here. Let's collaborate. Let's share ideas. And then after that, you know, we work hard. We play harder. Period. And then I think the last question would be whether or not you really have to invest in like a whole bunch of different things for your equipment. Okay. When I originally started content creation, I literally bought up everything. So I have like 6 lights. I have like 5 tripods, like, you know, just a whole bunch of different little knickknacks that I was just buying up. What I would say is condense it down. And also it just depends on like really your location. If you live somewhere where you get a lot of natural sunlight, you got some, you know, ceiling to window, what do they call them? Floor to ceiling windows, girl. I can't even think. Floor to ceiling windows. You know, if you got that, big girl, you probably don't need no lights. But at the time where I was at and how I was trying to do different things, I got a whole bunch of different lights. What I would suggest is, truthfully, even for a podcast, you really only need your phone and a light, a ring light. That's really all you need. If you want to take it up another notch, like if you're in fashion and beauty and you're fashion and beauty, you can get a camera. I would suggest getting a camera, but I would suggest getting a camera personally after you've already been using your phone and you've really, you know, sucked all the juices out of your phone, for lack of better words. And by that, I mean, you've used exposure, shadows, highlights, contrast, brightness, like color, sharpness, like you know how to change your filters and your settings, and you know how many frames per second you are filming in, you know, like how many frames per second, you know, Instagram and other apps export, or not Instagram, but your third-party apps before you export and go to Instagram, like what happens there as well? What kind of format are those videos being exported in? Like you need to be really familiar with video settings. And I feel like our camera settings. And that's what I personally think. That's my personal opinion, because I feel like going to get a camera, baby, that's an investment. But then you're going to ask me what I did. I didn't do any of the above. I purchased this camera before I knew anything about it. I purchased a whole bunch of lights before I knew anything about it. And you can do that too. But like I said, if I'm learning something, why wouldn't I tell you? Why wouldn't I tell you? All right, girl. So honestly, I really love this chat. Did you love the chat? Were you into it? Yeah? No? Are you into the vibes? Do we only really need? And honestly, right now, I have one light set up and I have my Sony camera. I'm filming on my Sony camera right now. My Sony ZV-1, which is a vlogging camera. And I'm not even going to say that I know how to use all the different settings on it, you know, but I know how to use all the different settings on my phone. And so I'm getting better at using the different settings on my camera. Actually, before we even started recording, like the exposure was hella low. And I was like, what in the hell? How did this even happen? And I ended up having to go through the settings and figure out how I clicked it on. But girl, content creation is not a joke, but it's also super, super fun. And I really do enjoy it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't already, go ahead and take some time. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead, subscribe, like this video. Go ahead, like it and comment and let me know. First of all, the 5 people are listening, what is going to be your name? And then after that, let me know what you think of the episode. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.